All right. Good evening, LinkedIn. Dave Wilson of the Ring and Hard Show. Tonight, the stimulus. We're going to talk about the stimulus package ending, the great exit of 2021, and some other great staffing issues. I'll be right back after this. Right. All right. Good evening. You know, Kenneth, savor the flavor. That's all I think about when I see that. I mean, you got your branding down good for yourself. Savor the flavor. I love it. Hey, Bill, Pittsburgh. Oh, you're in St. Louis today. Well, you're getting all over the place, Bill. Hope everything's going good and you get back home soon. Things are going crazy right now. Just work and getting into the swing of things, and just learn some about the team and all that. Tonight, I take a little heat on this subject, on both actually, and it's my opinion. So everything that I talk about through this is respectively my opinion. It's not going to agree with everyone, and I understand that. The stimulus package, we all know, 16 days. It's all that's left. It's like tick tock, tick tock. So people think 16 days and the world is going to change. In 16 days, everything is solved. We're all going back to work. They've sat on their couch. They've done this, right? Don't keep thinking that, because yes, that stimulus is ending. I get it. All right. But that doesn't mean the staffing problems are going to change like that. What's going to happen is you're going to get a good surge this week, next week, and into the first 2 to 3 weeks in September, hopefully to the end. You're going to get that surge, but it's going to slow because remember, the stimulus is the 300, okay, not unemployment. So you're still going to have people on unemployment. They're not just going to work in a logistics center. They're not just going to work for entry level, or they might be in a regional or VP position, right? IT, medical. Well, they shouldn't be unemployed anyway, but unemployment doesn't end. Now, a lot of people don't realize that the Child Care Act, it's $250 per child. So you can do the math. 2 kids, that's $500 a month that you receive a check from the government. A lot of people don't understand that, and they need to know that that is their loan on your taxes for next year. Seriously, really talk with somebody if you're not familiar with it. But and it goes from your income, certain income. But that 250, you don't have to sign up for that. If you've got 3 kids, that's what's going to happen. You're still going to get that money up front. So that's still going to cause some issues. Bill Bradford, you are so scrumptiously delicious, good-hearted. I'll tell you what, Kenneth, I don't think there's a mean bone in your body there, everything that you say. But back to that, the stimulus, just be careful. It's not going to change the world. The ones that really love it are the job boards. I'm telling you, Indeed and all them, they must just be sucking it up so bad, Bill, because people are really just applying because they have to do their job search. So by doing their job search for unemployment, you have to put in, I think, 5. So that's not going to stop. You're going to get people for their unemployment Oh man, figure how many thousands of people are laid off, right? Besides the stimulus, times that by five requirements, right? That they don't, if they don't want to work, they can just check off five. You're going to get resumes all over the place, and the only one that's going to really affect is that P&L. That P&L of the companies, I really feel bad for, because Indeed and Career Builder and Zip, they're going to be on their honeymoon. They're going to be like, we love this, boy. Just keep clicking and clicking and clicking, because every click, for those who are not familiar, costs money. And the companies are paying for that. So you put a budget, and you better really put a good budget, because even every time you refresh that, job posting, cha-ching, cha-ching, it goes up. David Wilson, you're so right. I don't have a mean bone. Savor the flavor. I think everybody's going to just know that, Kenneth. Savor the Flavor show. That'd be a good show we could have. But really go after these candidates. You're going to have like a 4-week window, a 4-week. And I mean, you need to go after them. You need to go out every single idea that your team comes up with on recruiting, every single social media platform that you can think of, every outlet, stand out on the highway with those big old signs saying help wanted. Nothing is going to be crazy enough, because you are going to be fighting for these next couple weeks. You need to do it then. You need to. Let's just put it that way. No other choice. You have to hit these 4 weeks like you've never done anything before, because that's going to take you into peak season. That's what's going to set the tone. All right. Because after that, listen, people, the next part I wanted to talk about is with the bonuses and everything. We're going to get to that, but you got to have to do something different, because it doesn't work. If it's not working for you now, say to yourself, you know what? How's it working for you? If it's not, come up with solutions, come up with ideas, because if you just keep complaining about it, and I've said that last night, if you just keep complaining about all that negativity, just goes into your mind all the time, just goes into your mind. But if you really focus, you can really come out ahead, and you can find some candidates, texting, and if they respond to a text, you respond to 8:00 at night. I don't care. Respond to that thing. I did 3 tonight. Respond. Shocks the hell out of them, because you're texting them at 8:00 at night, but you got to do what it takes. So the next subject, this one's going to be a fun one. The big exit. Now, the big exit of 2021. You see it all over LinkedIn. All these people are leaving their jobs because they're being called back to the office. Companies want them to come back. People don't want to go back. They're used to working at home. Listen, respectively, if your company is asking you to come back to work, and everybody's going to come back, right? Or hybrid, let's just say, you need to go. Listen, decisions that you have to make. I know everybody says, well, you see it on LinkedIn, you're going to lose top talent. Mm-hmm. You are. You're going to lose it. But you're going to find 10 others right behind her that might be just as good. And if your team's really good, you'll train that person fine. Or that you might have that one person that's already got your mind. So he might be saying, oh, this person's going to leave because the great exit of 2021, all these jobs, or people are going to leave. It all balances out. Listen, when you leave a company and you're really, really good at what you do, right? I've been there. I've had really excellent recruiters, and I've had excellent staff and managers that have left, and your stomach drops when one of your top persons say they're leaving. Ugh, that feeling, Bill, I know you've probably been there, but that feeling is horrible, because you just lost. Then everything starts going through your mind. How are we going to get this done? How are we going to get that done? This person doesn't always done it. It's okay. Let them go. Let them go. The companies during COVID, again, respectively, the companies during COVID really helped people out. They allowed people to work from home like everybody. If you were able to work and you did your job, thanks, Bill, I appreciate it. If you did your job, you were able to work remote, and they kept you on the payroll when they didn't have to. They did not have to. Some companies had to, because I'm not going to go into all that, because they had to pay to play. But think about it. They were there for you when COVID hit and all the issues hit, right? So if they're asking you to come back, there's reasons. You see on LinkedIn where people are getting paid less now. If you're going to work remote, they're going to take 10, 20% of your salary out. Listen, companies know what they're doing. And if they want you back in that office, I'm sorry, you got to go. There's no, as a leader, to make a decision, that's one of the hardest, but you're going to lose top talent, and it's okay. It's all going to work out after a month or two, because you got that rising star. If that good person really wanted, and they're leaving that top talent, he showed somebody something, they were watching. So that person can teach, and he's learned, or he or she. So be careful with that. The grass is not always greener on the other sides of your job. It's not. It's great feeling when you resign, right? Say after 10 years, this great exit, you've been with a company for 10 years and you got used to working at home, and you're used to playing with your cat, and you're playing with your doggy, and you're taking their little pictures, and you're doing all this. I woke up this morning, I feel good, my eyes look good, I looked at the sunshine, I'm so happy. That's perfect. But the doggy will be fine, and the cat, right? And there is good, I say it, hey, Emery, how you doing? It's been a while, been a couple days. It's my favorite cousin there. There is circumstances that families are going through that's very hard still. And I say that with empathy. I mean, I might have said what I said before there, but there is families that are going through hardship. And you got to separate it. You got to kind of separate it a little bit. There's people that just want this, and they just want to work from home, and they just can't, they don't want to go back to the office. But then there is some people that you're going to lose because they can't go back. The child care issues, they're still coming. And now a lot of the companies today, I noticed, a couple of the companies down from here all started wearing masks again. They were mandatory, all wearing masks. Our school just started all the masks again. So there, you don't know what's going to go on. You don't know, but just don't leave your job because you think, you've had that cuddling time. Like, okay, it's time to go back. The only other thing that I see so many complaints, how companies just are taking things from them. They don't realize work-life balance. Listen, work-life balance has always been there. Work-life balance is up to you and your company. I think you learn that through experience. Work-life balance is, you'll work too much and you'll burn yourself out. You don't see your children grow up. You don't see different things, but that's your choice. So what you got to try to do is you got to try to just work that out with work and work around it. You don't have to work 12 hours a day. You don't work 10. You don't have to work 7 days a week, work 6.5. That's a joke. But you know what I'm saying? If it takes that extra time to help your company through a period like this, that they were there for you, listen, you got to check some balances there, the pros and all the cons. So, to the families that are struggling out there, talk with your HR director. I have a great manager now that he said, anybody who walks through the door, if they're looking for work, you don't turn anybody away. You got to look really at that person and say, wow, I wonder if they could do this job. I say it all the time, but you have to do that. Yes. Then why pay 20% less? You're right, Kenneth. And it's been on LinkedIn. There's been some companies. I don't know the answer to that. I really don't. Because I have talked about that before, saying, if you're working from home, who's paying for your Wi-Fi? Who's paying for the extra electricity? When you're a 1099, you write all that off, right? Either an S Corp or 1099, you can claim all that stuff, your electric power, a percentage from your income. So this is confusing to me. It is. I don't know whether to say it could be to try to force you to come back in a way, because 20% of a high tech, if you're in IT and all these other things, that's a chunk of change. So I'm not sure, Kenneth. I don't know how to answer that one. That's the only thing on the negative side. I could be like, well, they want you to come in because they said, people that commute should be paid more. I don't think you're going to see everybody just different opinions. And I just say, if you want your job, listen, as a leader, you got to make tough decisions. Not everyone is going to agree with you. You can listen, but at the end of the day, you have to do what your management and your team and your boss and your company says, period. And we all have choices: stay or leave, find another employment. And that's a hard subject to say it like that, but you know, like all these bonuses. My last subject, real quick, is all these bonuses. It's got to stop soon. I get it for, like, you see CDL drivers right now. You're talking 7,000 to 15,000. Please call me Kenny. We're friends. All right, Kenny. I love it. You know, there we go. So it's Kenny. But the bonuses anymore, it's got to stop sooner or later, because now you're competing with everybody's giving bonuses the same amount. Well, this person's paying this. Well, this. Okay, jack it up. So now what? You think it's going to continue to keep going? It has to level off. The only ones that are going to try to succeed are the big A's and the big W's, all these huge companies that can afford to put those huge bonuses out for peak, right? Huge. Companies are not going to be able to compete with that. Hey, Rob, that's all right. Hey, Rob, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. Yeah, you are late, Rob. But the companies that are offering all that, my counter to that is, listen, you can throw all those thousands and thousands. There is, when I see some of the companies have $8,000 bonuses, right? $8,000 bonuses. Listen, there's things behind that. You're just not going in there and they're going to give you $8,000 at the end of the year. It's not happening, you know. My daughter Denise is watching. Hi, Denise. Let's see. Oh, there she is. Hi, Denise. How are you? I see you on Facebook. See, I can watch everybody on Facebook too. So this is being streamlined to all different social medias. But think about that. When the bonuses have to stop, you know, I don't know how much more you want to say. You know, like, come on, walk in that door and give them $1,000 or $2,000 just to walk in. This is where I've told everybody it's gotta stop. So what I mean by that is, you got to start selling the company. It's going to be no longer about the pay rate, because not everybody's going to be making 25, 30. It's not going to go up to $40 an hour, 35. It shouldn't be. Maybe during peak, but it shouldn't. You know, come on. The small businesses are going to be crushed. They are now. They're crushed as it is. They are, you know, when you see a small business putting the bonuses up for $350, that's heartbreaking. You know, that's a lot of money to them too, because if they're missing 10 staff, that's a lot of money, and their bottom line, their margin is so slim. So, you know, first support them, the small businesses. You have to, because they are suffering, and I don't know what to say for them. I really, if I had any kind of an idea that I could say how to staff for them, the hospitality and all that, listen, and I don't know, until the rate, you're not going to take, like, if McDonald's is paying 14 now, that's it. That's not going back down to 10. You know what I mean? You're not going to say, well, we only paid you 14 for now. It's here to stay. So to support your businesses, local businesses, is a great way to do that, because if you don't, they're going under. And then, like we talked before, all the big companies are going to just jump in on that, and they're going to take a lot of those people, and you're going to see a lot more places just minimal hours. They've cut back. There's some stores around here that are just open for 8 hours. That's it. It's not happening. So they have to figure out, what are they going to do to compete when you have companies that are going to start. And I promise you this, and I'm going to tell them, I'm going to call them out too, because you're going to start seeing companies, like I told you, one for $8,000. If you work by August 31st, you work to the end of the year, you're going to get an $8,000 bonus. Now, the chances of you getting that are very slim, because I guarantee if you're probably late 1 minute, they take it away, or they take something. There's something in there when they're saying $25 to $37. Something's wrong in that picture. So that might catch you eye to go to work. That might catch you. You'd be like, holy crow, I like that. It caught your eye. But you need to check into it and really ask all the questions. When you're going to start getting these bonuses, listen, be very clear with the recruiters. Ask them, explain it to me. down to a T, because if you don't do that, you're going to have candidates that'll be like, wait a minute here. I was told I'm getting a bonus. I was told what's going on. You've got to be straight up and honest. If you know something that you're not telling that candidate, that's wrong on you. That's going to come back and bite you, because before you know it, all your staff is going to be like, no, wait a minute here. And everybody's going to be confused. So back to that point about smaller businesses, I don't know. The winter time's coming. People don't go out as much. Now with the new variant, you don't even know what's going on. People wearing masks all over again. I've even seen companies now, free dry cleaning. They're running out of ideas. Free dry cleaning. Come work for us. We're going to give you a free dry cleaning. Come on. They're going to wash your clothes and press them for you if you work for them. That's a perk. They're running out of ideas, because the next thing I'm telling you, if you keep cuddling everybody, if you keep taking that employee and just like babying them over and over, why don't you send an Uber? We'll send Ubers to everybody to pick them up. You know what? Hey, you bring Uber food, bring us food, bring us to work. Just, hey, the companies are probably going to say to you, you know what? We're going to give you three free trips to work for the week. How's that? That's being funny, but that could be one of the things. So when it comes back to trying to figure out those bonuses and everything, I don't know. I keep saying it. I don't know. And I got one more subject. Talked about work-life balance. And again, for the remote, for everybody being called back to the office, I say it in all seriousness, just go back. Figure it out. Everybody wanted, now the government wants you to hop on one leg everywhere you go. Exactly. Everyone wanted to go back to normal. We all did. Everybody's like, oh, I can't wait things back to normal. What that means doesn't have to be the new normal. It's going to come back. I'm telling you, I know it is. It's the new, you're going to be going back to work, period. So enjoy it while you had it. And now it's time to go back. So, and then you get all those Zoom calls, or you're wearing shorts underneath this, or you got your dog, cats, everybody calling, your phone ringing, your kids jumping up on you. They were fun. That was fun. So Rob, which leg? Hey, Ken, that's a good one. So in closing, look into why you're leaving a job. Really, seriously, look. I always like to say, take a scale, right? Put your hands out like that. All right, my work, 2 weeks vacation. My work, let us work remote, and they give us a hybrid. My work pays for my dry cleaning. My work gives us bonuses for referrals. Okay. Now, my work's making me come back to the office. I don't want to. My work is taking 20% of the pay. I don't want to. You see what I'm saying? So it's just, you got to weigh it out. If there's more yeses than nos, if you're second guessing yourself, whether you want to leave on this great exit, if you're saying, wow, talk to your family members, talk to your wife, talk to your significant others, husbands, and family, and see if that's the right decision. Because again, it's not always the right one. Please don't go so early, Dave. I know, right? They prefer the right one because the left one doesn't know what to do. That's what he says on there. So, all right, one more thing. CareerLink. Reached out to them today, and that's where everybody, there's a bunch of career links in all different areas, and that's where people go for your unemployment. That's where they go for looking for work, and they're pretty much open for that. Now job fairs, they're only allowed to have like 2 companies in on each day because it's being fair. So companies that are hurting right now cannot even go to do a job fair, but only maybe once a month, because they have to be fair. So think about that. Before, you have to go to CareerLink, you got to do your unemployment. Now you have to search for jobs. Normally, when you walked in, you had a bunch of work. You had a bunch of companies sitting there, and they would advertise you can go in. But now, it's not. It's still. They got a long way to go, because think about it. All these hundreds of people have to go in there and do their job searches, right? They're all going in one spot. So on closing, where would you go if all these candidates and all these people were going to an unemployment center? Where would you go? You go out in the parking lot. You take your business cards. Don't tell anybody I told you this. Right there, right? The flyers. And as they come up to their cars, you sit out there. Hey, looking for a job? Here you go. That's my tip of the day. So on that note, everybody, thanks for coming and on the show as always. Anne-Marie and your daughter Denise. Hi, Denise. Oh, Al Hoagland. I got Mr. Al Hoagland on here tonight. So thanks, everybody, and we will be back tomorrow night.